Well, I'll just briefly start by saying that there is no sentence that is sufficient to bring true justice, because Kristin is gone, forever gone. But we will never give up looking for her and seeking to find her and bringing her back for the family. But what the family just did today and the loved ones in sharing their thoughts about Kristin, I think sums up a proverb, Proverbs 31:8. It says, "Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Ensure justice for those being crushed." And I can't add any more words to what the family has given today about the measure of their loss, about the joy that Kristin has brought into their lives, and the fact that she will always, always live on in their hearts and our community's hearts. But today we stand with the Smart family, and we will never, ever forget Kristin, and we will never give up until her body is found and you're able to properly receive her and bury her.
Thank you very much. Hey, did you want to read?
Yeah. Anything you want to add to that?
I think
Yeah.
I had a brief note.
So we have some comments and then I'll respond to a few questions.
Well, all I wanted to say, I said upstairs. So today is a day not really of joy. It's a day of relief that Kristin's voice was heard. We are very fortunate that her voice was heard today, but it's not the voice any parent hopes to hear on the courtroom steps or in a courtroom. But her voice was heard, and that brings us a sense of peace, knowing that there will be no more victims. And that's the peace that we get. But it's also time for Los Angeles to give voice to the women who lost their lives. Well, they didn't lose their lives, but they lost part of their lives to Paul. And their voices have not been heard. And justice is for everyone. So if a man was assaulted, there would be justice. A sexual assault is an assault. And Los Angeles needs to step up and give voice to these women who have been silenced by their inaction.
Okay, any of you have questions that you'd like to bring up? We'd really like to thank all of you that are here for being so supportive and giving us media coverage. And we definitely are very appreciative of the San Luis Obispo area community, Arroyo Grande, Shell Beach coming back, and San Luis Obispo and the DA's office and the Sheriff's office for all the work that they've done. And without their help and your help, this wouldn't have come true today. But we're not happy because we don't have our daughter. We don't know where her remains are. And so, as the judge pointed out, it's a sentence, but it doesn't bring back your loved one. So from that aspect, we don't have closure. But we know that the Sheriff's Department and the District Attorney's Office will continue to look for her remains and see if we can find her. So I'd like to thank everyone. And
Christopher Bell.
well, Chris, yeah.
Where's Chris?
Chris is
We have two Chris's here.
We have Chris and Amber.
Chris and Chris, what a team.
Yeah. So both these gentlemen did a great deal for us, obviously. And Chris and Chris, I don't know who should go first. But, our podcaster here really made a big difference as far as getting the word out as far as our daughter's life. And yeah, come up, Clint. This is the Sheriff's Department. He did a whole lot of work. And JT, come over, yeah. He's an investigator for the DA's office.
Our many cornerstones.
Gentlemen, all of them made a big difference. So there are more people than what I could thank. I mean, my heart really goes out to our family. Loves you dearly. I think we've adopted all of you. Hopefully you've adopted us a little bit. So,
Chris, can you kind of go through what the sentence means, like how early he could get parole, and all, spell it out for us?
Sure. Well, California has enacted earlier parole and is paroling more and more murderers. So realistically, in about 15 years, he might be eligible for parole. So it's important. I know everyone here will stay on top of it, and I will personally appear at every single parole hearing as long as I'm alive.
Can you give us just your reaction? I mean, obviously it's been a long haul for you as well, and kind of coming to a conclusion as this for you right now.
My reaction is relief that Paul Flores will never hurt another person. Just relief, and that's what I keep coming back to. My secondary reaction is the power of the community coming together, from Chris to all of San Luis Obispo County supporting us throughout the entire years. It's the community can make a difference, and the community supporting us in law enforcement makes a huge difference. And then lastly, it's to victims out there who are thinking of coming forward, families who are waiting for it on their loved ones. It's don't ever give up hope, because there are people in the system who care deeply and will never give up trying to find justice for their loved ones. So those are my quick reactions.
So Chris Lambert, your name was mentioned a lot in court, and you sort of got thrust into this case in a way that you probably didn't expect. So what are you feeling this afternoon?
It just feels like so long ago. It feels like so long ago even that I started looking into this story, and that was so long after she'd initially disappeared. I was 8 years old when she went missing. This has been my entire life, and it's something that I really delved into about 5 years ago, and I just never expected, just step after step, all of this to unravel the way that it did. But today's obviously the best possible outcome, short of finding Kristin.
So do you stop?
Mr. Smart, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you mentioned there won't be closure until you find Kristin, you bring her home.
Right.
What can you do, what will you do in the coming days to try and ultimately make that happen?
I think probably getting the word out. You're getting the word out for us, and then watching and see what the DA's office and the sheriff's office hears about from people that might come forward, having heard about the trial and the ending. So it's gather information once again and not give up. So.
And you still have hope one day we'll be speaking with you?
Well, yeah, no, I'm very hopeful. I think I'm hoping that after Paul goes in the system and he's behind bars, he'll have some second thoughts. I'm really disappointed in the parents and their responses. Just I can't fathom how they think or what their values are. It's just beyond me, totally beyond me.
Where do you go from here? Like, what are your next steps? Obviously, this has been consuming your life for the past 27 years.
Well, we probably will come up for air for a little bit, and then we'll go forward. Gonna have a little break, I think, for the family. But that's Kristin's part of our family, so she's part of the big family here. So
I feel like there's two clear actions though that we will take, and myself and my mom referenced them. My mom mentioned she won't give up, but I will continue alongside her to make sure that Paul doesn't get out. And if that means changing laws retroactively for people that know where the body is, the person they murdered, and there's no incentive for him to speak up right now. We'll find a way to make an incentive for him to speak up, because we do want her home. And another clear action, I'm just so grateful. My sister's not here, and she doesn't have a voice, and there was 2 Jane Does proud enough to brave enough to stand up there and be her voice, and without that voice I don't know if we'd have this conviction. So they're truly the unsung heroes here, and I'm so grateful for them, and I equally want their justice, and their justice isn't here. They were here for us to get our justice, but they deserve justice, and I encourage LA County to stand up and give them justice, because when they testified they said no one would believe us, and they're right now, and I'd love for them to get justice as well. We're privileged and fortunate to stand here today, and while it did take us 26 years, I don't want it to take 26 years for them to get their justice, and all the other women who maybe haven't spoken up, because you have to be incredibly brave to come forward with that type of information. So,
what did you think about what the judge had to say? She was pretty forthright in her comments.
yeah, I was very impressed. She's very articulate. She had studied everything. She had gone back through all of the notes, and she had put together her thoughts, and she had them written down. There were no gray areas, and I was very impressed. So I think we were very fortunate having her adjudicate this.
Well, Clint, one question from you. Today is a big day for you, not only with the sentencing, but this is tomorrow's first day of retirement, right?
Correct.
So how does it feel to have your last day on the clock be this day?
It
feels really good. I was happy to see Paul being walked away. It feels amazing. Giving them some sort of justice feels good. It all happening on my last day of employment with the sheriff's office is just an amazing, amazing thing.
When you first took this assignment, the cold case assignment, were you? I mean, obviously you were hopeful this would be the outcome, but did you really expect this to come this far?
Not early on, because the case is so large. It's overwhelming. But then I got into it a little bit and developed a theory. Tricked Chris in the DA's office into filing the case, and I felt confident at that point. But at first, no. I mean, the first year and a half, I thought, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? But that's why we have people look at the cases. We call new eyes on the case, and we just kind of developed a theory. And once that was developed, and Mr. Dow and the DA's office jumped on board, then yeah, I felt real comfortable at that point.
So maybe this is a question for Mr. Burrell, but I asked